Start.
Hello, I am Sadak Ijaz, and today I am presenting my presentation topic on the topic of 2D QSR analysis of NDPH oxidase inhibitor for selectivity profiling. Moving towards the next slide. These are the content of my presentation, starting from the introduction slide. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
NDPH oxidase. NDPH oxidase is a primary source of reactive oxygen species. Till now, seven isoforms identified. Mainly, it is distributed in the central nervous system. First time when the NOx is identified, it's mainly one isoform, NOx2, is mainly involved in the body defense against pathogen. Nowadays, may contribute to the brain injury after the ischemic stroke. Next slide, please. As our purpose is to selectivity profiling, we look towards the isoform of the NOx with having similarity with the NOx2. Like there are 7 isoforms, but still only 4 having the similarity with the NOx2. Like NOx1 having 56% similarity, and it is also present in different part of the brain cells. NOx3 is present in having 58% similarity, and it is present in the inner ear of the body, and it have no role in the brain cells. Next is NOx4 and NOx5, both of having similarity 37 and 30%, and it is also present in different part of the brain cells. But our purpose is to selectivity profiling, and there is rule that amongst similarity is more than 50. So we select NOx1 for the selectivity profiling study with the NOx2, which is also present in the brain cells, and studies reported that these NOx1 is also involved in the ischemic brain injury after the ischemic stroke. Next slide. So our objective is to selective profiling of the NOx2 against NOx1 to reduce the off-target toxicity. So we developed the 2D QSR models for the prediction of the NOx1 and NOx2 inhibitors through physiochemical properties. Moving towards the methodology of the presentation. Here we collect the NOx2 and NOx1 ligands dataset from 25 from the Campbell database as well as from the literature review. These ligands are prepared in the MOE software and minimized using the energy minimization tool MM94X. On the basis of these 25 ligands of the NOx2 as well as NOx1, we build the multiple linear regression model. On the basis of PLS analysis, we validate our model using the leave one out method. Through this method, we develop the next slide. Through this method, we develop the models for the NOx2 as well as NOx1. This is the equation of the multiple linear regression model with the R square value of 0.63 and Q square value of 0.50. As the studies show that the Q square is that much near to the R square, so it will be a good model. Here we calculated 267 model. 267 calculate 267 descriptors, but all of these descriptors, only 3 descriptors having showing the positive contribution towards the activity of the NOx2, like density, HPK, and H-log-PO. Density show the molecular effectivity of the molecular mass of the NOx2. HPK show the acidity of these ligands towards the NOx2, and H-log-PO show the all bonds fraction. The linear regression model, multiple linear regression model showed that the density and H-log-PO show the positive contribution towards the NOx2 activity, and HPK show the negative contribution towards the activity of the NOx2. Looking towards the so we through this presentation we predict the 2D QSR model of the NDPH oxidase isoform and identify 2D physiochemical properties showing density and SPK, which show the positive contribution of the NOx2 over NOx1 for selectivity profiling. So in future, this predictive physiochemical property of NOx2 may contribute to the discovery of drugs for the treatment of the ischemic stroke. These are the references of the presentation. We study the NDPH oxidase, a potential target for the treatment of the stroke, epidemiology of the stroke, and it is involved evolution of the selective mechanism of the target engagement for the inhibitor NDPH oxidase. Thank you, sir.
Uh, well, ma'am, thank you for your presentation. Ma'am, before, can I know what is the main purpose of this research, ma'am? What do you want to say?
Main purpose of this research is to develop the 2D QSR models for the NOx2 to find the physiochemical properties of the NOx2 which showing the positive contribution towards the activity. So we predict that on the basis of these descriptors for the physiochemical properties, we build the more potential inhibitors for the NDPA NOx2 which may role in the ischemic stroke.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Does anyone ask any kind of question to her? Did anyone can ask any kind of question to her? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation. Kindly mute your audio and video, ma'am. Dr. Rupak Kumar, can you unmute your audio and video, please?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Hello.
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 Is my voice is audible to you, sir?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Audible.
Sir,
So, am I audible?
Yes,
Am
sir.
I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, can I start?
Yes, sir. Can you screen? Can you see the visible, sir?
Yeah. I'm seeing my PPT.
Well, sir. Now you continue, sir.
Okay. Very good morning, everyone. So, myself, Dr. Rupak Kumar, and I am an independent researcher at one of the Institute of Government of India, that is CDCSO at New Delhi. Here I am telling you something very exciting about some of the pollutant. Do you know how many pollutant are you coming to the environment per second? The amount is 65 kg per second in chemical is discharged into environment, and one of the chemical is morphine. If you see the word morphine, the name itself indicates its physical, chemical, biological property. Morpho means morphological, only means while, just like a mustard oil, coconut oil, and in means amine. It means that while oil and chemically it is amine group. And if chemically you can see this chemical, they are the both ether group and the amine group. Due to this amine group, this chemical has multiple application. Just like in textile industry, in personal care industry, even in the paper industry, even in the agriculture industry, even in the coating fruits and vegetable. So what happens when this chemical is discharged into environment? um, It's a NH2 group bind to the NO2, NH3, HNO2 group that is present in the environment and then form one carcinogenic product. So morphine itself is not a problematic, but when you discharge this chemical into environment, this chemical undergoes naturalization process and form one carcinogenic product. So my objective is that why not we can develop some assay that will detect this chemical even in the minute amount discharge into the environment. So we develop one spectrophotometric assay, very minute, very simple, very exciting, in which we need only 2 microliter of sample volume, and that will give the sensitivity of 2 to 10 ppm. So this is a so we developed this essay, and on the basis of that essay, we are planning to develop this point of care detection device, in which you can put your sample and this chemical, and along with this your sample we can put some of the reagent, and after this reagent chemical reaction will be carried out and it will develop the color. Intensity of color will give the amount of morphine present in the effluent sample, as well as any fruits and vegetable, paper, whatever the effluent is coming into environment, we can detect the amount of morphine through this spectrophotometric assay. Here, I would like to mention that uh, we did a pilot study for the estimation of morphine in the coated fruits and vegetables through this method, and we are happy to announce that we found morphine in different fruits and vegetable, tomato, carrot. This is the one aspect, and parallelly we can estimate the presence of morphine in the some of the industrial effluent that I collect from the textile effluent, and here I found the result. Here I can already mention that uh, in the textile effluent, the untreated have a morphine presence of 5,000 ppm, and when we treat this industrial effluent, the morphine concentration will narrow down to 540 ppm. So it means that this method is quite interesting and quite simple to detect the presence of morphine. Here, one more thing I will highlight the thing that when this effluent go to the environment, suppose industrial effluent is coming with the some of the industry and it go to the environment, and and in the water body, if this in this water body, it will go to the different trophic level of ecosystem, and through this trophic level of ecosystem the concentration of carcinogenic byproduct will be magnified. It means that when we are consuming the fruits and vegetable that is coated, on the other hand, when we are taking the uh, uh, different water from the industrial source, it means that it will magnify the amount of carcinogenic product. In order to overcome such a problem, we develop such a method. That's all.
Well, sir,
Any question?
thank you for your presentation. Sir, may I know, as you mentioned, a one kind of chemical drug, right?
Yeah.
Sir, even you are saying that it is harmful for the human beings.
Yes.
Why they are still using those kind of chemical drug in those kind of products?
Okay, so if you see the chemical structure of this chemical, they have due to this amine group, they have the multiple application. I am just giving the example of the textile industry. One of the derivative of this chemical is used to dissolve the pulp, and there is no any substitute till date for alternative to this chemical. So you think how many magnitude is coming to the environment. For the production of one jeans, we can release 30,000 liters. You just think the magnitude of the chemical. So so till that there is no any alternative of this chemical. Only we can do that. The government of India have the certain norms. The amine concentration into the water body should be 300 ppm,
Well,
but
sir.
till date there is no any alternative.
Okay, well. Does anyone have any kind of queries? Kindly ask to him.
I think think no one have?
Uh, well, sir, thank you for your presentation, sir. Thank you. Kindly
Thanks.
unmute your audio and video, sir.
Okay, okay, fine.
Jyoti Singh, kindly unmute your audio and video, please. Ma'am, can you unmute your audio and video, please?
Should I start?
One second. Yeah, ma'am, you can start. You can start.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jyoti, and today I'm going to present on the topic screening of biosurfactant producing bacterium PSS 1001 isolated from crude oil contaminated soil. Next slide, sir. So I would like to start with the introduction. Biosurfactant are amphiphilic molecules produced extracellularly by a variety of microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast, and fungi. And in the presence of these hydrophobic and hydrophilic moieties, confers these molecules the ability to accumulate between the interfaces of dissimilar polarities like liquid-liquid, liquid-air, liquid-solid, and thus thereby reducing the surface and interfacial tension at the surface and interfacial regions respectively. They are advantageous over chemical surfactant because of their biodegradability, they are having low toxicity, and they are effective at different ranges of pH and temperature. The next slide. Now the literature review. Based on the molecular mass, there are two types of bisurfactant. First is low molecular mass bisurfactant, second is high molecular mass bisurfactant. Low molecular mass bisurfactant, they are effective in reducing surface and interfacial tension, and high molecular mass bisurfactant, they act as emulsion stabilizing agents. Bisurfactants have unique properties such as low toxicity, high surface activity, biodegradability, tolerance to pH temperature, and ionic strength. Due to these properties, they are widely used in food, cosmetic, pharmaceutical, detergent industries, etc. Next slide. Now the table is showing the classification of biosurfactant and its application, and I'm going to discuss in brief. First is glycolipids and lipopeptides. They are mainly used for the removal of metals from the soil and also for the degradation of various classes of hydrocarbons and oils. Next is polymeric biosurfactant, which is used for the stabilization of an emulsion. Now, what is emulsion? An emulsion is a mixture which form when two immiscible liquids combine and form a smooth mixture. The next slide. Now, the objective of this present study is screening of biosurfactant producing microorganisms isolated from crude oil contaminated soil. The next slide. Hello. The next slide. Now, the methodology. The methodology is to screen the biosurfactant producing bacterial isolate, and the screening. Okay. And the screening method is divided into qualitative and quantitative methods. The qualitative method includes drop collapse assay, microplate assay, and the quantitative method includes surface tension, emulsification assay, and oil spreading assay. The next slide. Now I'm going to discuss about each method of screening method. The qualitative methods of screening. First is drop collapse assay. This method basically based on the destabilization of the liquid droplet by the biosurfactant. And if the liquid does not contain the biosurfactant, the polar liquid molecule will repel from the hydrophobic surface and the drop remain in the beaded form. But if the biosurfactant is present in the sample, the drop will collapse. Next is microplate assay. In this, the culture supernatant or sample was taken in microplate and the plate was used using the backing sheet of paper that had the grease. And if the biosurfactant will be present in the sample, the concave surface of the sample will distort the image of the grease, and this optical distortion confirms the presence of biosurfactant in the sample. Next is quantitative method of screening. First is oil spreading. In this, the oil placed. If the biosurfactant will be present in the supernatant, it will form a clear zone by displacing the oil, and the diameter of the clear zone correlates to this biosurfactant activity. Next is surface tension. It is the measurement of surface and interface activity of the sample. As the surface tension decreases, the concentration of biosurfactant increases. For this, about 50 to 70 ml of sample was required, and it was measured with an automated tensiometer instrument. Now, emulsification index or E24, I have done water and oil emulsion. In this, 6 ml of oil was added in 4 ml of sample in a few-cup test tube, and then it was mixed at high speed for 2 to 4 minutes, and the height of the stable emulsion layer was measured after 24 hours. The E24 emulsification was calculated as the ratio of the height of the stable emulsion layer and the total height of the liquid into 100. Now, results. First is the screening of production media. The screening of production media was done on the basis done to select the media for the production of biosurfactant, and it was done on the basis of reduction in the surface tension value of the culture plot. I have screened two media, nutrient salt and mineral salt media, and maximum reduction was observed in case of mineral salt media, that is 22.481 meter Newton per meter after 72 hours of incubation, which means the production of biosurfactant was more in case of mineral salt media.